You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV network. Now, the largest new media platform on the web and your number one source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, Keith. Johnson.
From the AFTERBUZZ Studios in Los Angeles, California, and streaming live on Ustream, this is AFTERBUZZ TV for Oprah Winfrey Network, the Oprah Recap Show. We'll bring you all the highlights from the week in OWN and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, picking up where the show leaves off and the buzz continues, it's Oprah Winfrey Network, the Oprah Recap Show.
Yow. Yay! Yay! We're back, everybody! Yes! We are so thank you for that, DJ. I love it when they're all there we go.
Gotta give you a little more.
Right, you gave me a
little more energy. It's own, baby.
Yes! You got it! It's all about you, brother! Everybody, we are so, and cut. No, I'm joking. Thank you, DJ. We appreciate you for that. Incredible introduction. Everybody,
Definitely.
we are so back, and we are here at the OWN, the Oprah Recaps, where here, it's all about living your best life. We want everyone to be able to take something from when you come to this show. You can take something with you to be able to make your lives a little bit better. I want to thank everyone really quick for tuning in, because again, we are definitely hitting the top 10 downloads. People are actually tuning in, and we know that it's making a difference in each and every one of yours lives.
Honey, we're with you.
We are with
Don't
you.
worry about it. I liked it plural. It was better. Trust.
Perfect. So without any further ado, we got my co-host in the house, Miss Shereen. How are you doing today? We are back.
I'm so good.
We missed you. It feels like 2 weeks. It hasn't been
too
that long.
Super Bowl just threw us off.
I
you
know, like the Super Bowl and everything else. Shout outs to the folks that won. Big ups. You feel me?
Good
Right.
work.
So you were gone. Where you been?
I had my 2012 kickoff workshop, which was amazing.
How was it? Yes.
It was really good. We had a good turnout. It was at the Radisson by the LAX.
Okay.
So good location.
Good location.
We had a videographer there. We had a photographer there, so I'll have some fun media for you guys.
Wow.
But it was really good. We just, kicked off everybody's year set goals, really talked about what supports you in getting to those goals.
Right.
And I added a little NLP in there, some neuro-linguistic programming.
Right, because you just got certified in neuro-linguistic programming.
Yes.
And I remember you saying something about that. Miss Winfrey also just got certified in there. So tell us really quick, what is neuro-linguistic programming? What is that about before we get into the words of the day? Because we need to know.
That?
What
Exactly.
is it and how do you use it?
Let me tell you. Okay, so neuro-linguistic programming, neuro, your brain and the way you think.
Okay.
Linguistic, your language and the way you communicate.
Oh, wow. That was simple.
Programming in your behaviors and the way you act.
Oh, wow.
So, it's like twofold. The idea that with the words that you use, you can literally create new neural pathways in your brain and change how you behave.
That is deep.
Good, right?
No, that is deep the way you just put that. Just say that last part again. Say that last part again.
Okay, so based on the things that you say.
The things that you say, what do they do?
That you can create new neural pathways in your brain.
Which will lead you to where?
To change your behavior.
Hallelujah.
Whoa. Yeah.
Wow. But that's what it is. I tell people all the time that if you can change your vocabulary, then you can change your life.
Very true.
Sometimes we're only a word, sometimes a word and the meaning of the comprehension of the words that we're using from the results that we want. Most people use words that they don't understand the comprehension of it, or you know what I'm saying, but yet your subconscious, which I'm really been studying the power of the subconscious mind, is saying, no, I don't know what you're saying.
Right. Exactly.
And that's why you getting what you saying.
Yes.
But you ain't getting what you know I'm saying. You know what I'm saying.
Honey, I know what you're saying.
You know what I'm saying? Right. So that is deep.
Yeah, it's really good.
So now, were you able to apply that? To how did the people pick it up and how did people work with it and take it?
Good question. I just started the certification. It's basically like going to be 4 months long of training.
Oh wow!
And then I have to do a lot of hours. So I did start the process. I did educate a little bit at my workshop, just talking a little bit about the unconscious mind.
Wow!
And
yes.
just how with
mind.
The Secret and the Law of Attraction, they're always saying speak in the positive, say what you want, don't think about what you don't want.
Right.
But nobody says why. And what I'm learning is that because the reason why is because the unconscious does not process negatives.
Yes.
So like when I tell you, do not think of a blue tree. Boom, you think of a blue tree because the unconscious does not process the word don't or no.
Yes.
And that's why they always say to speak in the positive.
I think that's where the words idle, I think I'm using the word idle words, don't utilize idle words, meaning words that don't have any meanings, or you don't really mean them, or you don't really mean what you're saying, because the unconscious mind only hears what you're saying. And I know the last time that we were talking about this, I was just starting this new information with the subconscious mind, because I was just like, you know what? I know everything happens. I said all the time, you don't always get what you consciously think about. Right. You get what you subconsciously think about first. Right. That's that stuff. That's where the memories are phased. That's where the beliefs are. When you get it in your head enough, that's where the repetition, that's where the learning process stores it inside that subconscious. And that's what we usually get, because everything happens in the rest, in the effortless part of it. Exactly. So therefore, if you have a bunch of crap in your effortless database, then that crap is going to come up effortlessly, even when you're trying to move forward in the positive, and until you fuel out or wash out or renew or do that paradigm shift in your thought process with a new vocabulary. Right. You're going to definitely get that. So that is...
It's pretty juicy.
I can't wait for you to grow more, and we grow more, and so you can teach me, you can teach us. Like we gonna be fed with Miss Shereen, okay? Definitely. And so real quick, we just want to bring in the house. I know we did a little late, but my boy, we got DJ Dr. Phil is not here today. He's not in the house, so we got DJ Ronnie.
What's up, you guys? I feel like I'm enriched in my life already because what you guys say means so much. I mean,
it does.
Now I'm even wondering what I'm saying, if it's the right vocabulary. So back to you guys,
Ronnie, you didn't say nothing but what we just said, so we appreciate that. So you're right, brother.
Right. And just to add in one more little thing, neuro-linguistic programming, the second part of it that I actually wasn't really aware of before, is that it has a lot to do with where you store the memories in your brain. So sometimes, let's say you've had an experience in the past, and it was bad. Right. And for whatever reason, it still plagues you in your current life, even though it is no longer happening. Right. A lot of the time that can happen because of where you store the story. So literally, like someone who's a pro, like a black belt in NLP, will basically be able to take that memory of where I'm storing it and move it to a place where I store memories that used to be true and are no longer true. Right. And then it won't plague me anymore in my life.
Perspective.
Juicy. Yeah.
Perspective. And most people see the glass half full versus seeing the glass half empty. Right. And you have a lot of people that have that, and it's all about perspective and looking at it, because that same person can look at that same situation that understands how to move things and look at it and say, why are you making this such a big deal? Just move it. Right. But the person that hasn't understood those tools will be, oh my God, franticking and acting a complete fool. Exactly. So yes, definitely. So yeah, NLP people, definitely, you can also tune into Tony Robbins, definitely clicks into NLP really well. Big time. Joe Vitale definitely clicks on NLP. So these are two authors that you could definitely tune in. We're hopefully to get them on the show to be able to talk some of these great tools and truths to us as well. I know you said something about that we may be getting on a good friend of yours soon.
Okay, his name is Kai Redford.
Kai Redford.
March 11th. He will be here in the studio.
So we're supposed to be having Kai Redford.
Exactly.
Kai Redford.
And
that sounds so. Kai Redford. like Robert Redford, but Kaya. Right. Okay.
So his name is Kai Redford. He was mentored by the same guy who mentored Tony Robbins. Wow. In NLP.
Wonderful.
Apparently, NLP was founded by Richard Bandler and also another gentleman who I don't know his name.
Right. I did know it, but it's not clicking at the moment.
And so it's really cool. Kaya, he was mentored by the greats, and he will be with us.
That is awesome. So everyone, we definitely have to stay tuned. We'll be letting you know as we get closer to that particular time, but definitely stay tuned for that. So really quick, we're going to go straight into our words of the day, and then we're going to go into, right after words of the day, our 10 facts about Miss Whitney Houston, because we had some things that were happening. We had Don Cornelius, we had Etta James. So we've had some greats that have put so much into our world and our history that have left us within the last 30 days, and some of them sooner than, within that time. So we want to definitely give some shout outs to those and to the families of everyone that's involved in this, and to each person, the billions and millions of people that they've touched around the world. So right when we come back from the words of the day, we're going to go straight into really just talking a little bit about what's been happening in the news on that end, and then we'll get straight into the interview. So our words of the day is going to be talking about giving and the responsibility for giving. So Miss Sereen's going to break that down. But remember, everybody, if you want something out of life, 0 times 0 is 0. If you want love, give some love. If you want some money, go give some money. If you want some food, go give some food. Go cook for somebody. You know what I'm saying? Like, whatever you want, recycle that and sow that seed in, and then you will reap that harvest of whatever it is that you're looking for. So you want to be a giver. So what is it going to say with us from Mr. Amos on giving?
Right. So the words of the day.
Yes.
The power of giving. There is no greater satisfaction than assisting the world in a positive way. Through helping others, you not only earn the love and support of those who receive, the spirit of giving also spreads through the universe. The most beneficial means for dealing with your issues is to devote time and energy often to the difficulties of others. Such actions put your own needs in context and diminishes the size of your troubles. At the same time, of course, your fellow human beings are being helped.
Well, what we just say, when you give, it comes back.
Yeah.
And, instinctively, we feel good when we're honestly and earnestly able to give and help someone through whatever trial or tribulation that they're in, no matter what it is. And sometimes the giving doesn't always have to be a physical scenario or tangible. It could be a smile.
Yes.
Looking at somebody and smiling, not frowning your face up and all this other jazz, some people just got funny faces, and but when they realize that that is a part of giving, then maybe you can look in the mirror and fix that. Like, fix your face.
Yes.
Because somebody needs you to smile at them. You feel me? So
Brookshire, you are so cute.
Be a giver, people. Be a giver. Thank you. So be a giver. So really quick, what we want to do was, as we've been hearing in the news, and I know I was sitting there and I know we're briefly talking about just the tragedy of Miss Whitney Houston, 48 years old, that, such a gift, such a beautiful voice that God brought to this world that has left the world now, along with 2 other people, but definitely want to focus some on Miss Whitney Houston. So we got some things in place that we're going to be keying into, which is going to be the 10 facts that maybe you didn't know about Whitney Houston that we want to bring up also as we just kind of talk about her really fast. So I just want to ask you really quick, and then I'm going to tell my story. When you think about Miss Whitney Houston, what comes to you, sugar? What comes to you?
Honestly, like when I think about Whitney Houston, I definitely think about being in Mexico with my family on this trip where we had all just watched The Bodyguard and we were crazy obsessed with the movie. Right. And we had literally like a little cassette tape of like the single of the I Will Always Love You song. And we would play it over and over and over. And honestly, it reminds me of like just a time of like joy and family and love and just fun. And it breaks my heart that she's gone. I feel like she's like this like part of my childhood that I'm just like, come back.
That's how I felt when my good friend called me. I had to get off the phone. I was like, let me call you back. I almost got irritated. Like, hold on, let me call you back. Let me let this process and get on the internet and look, because I was blown away because she was out here to do the party for
Clive Davis, right?
For Clive Davis at the Beverly Hilton. And there was reports she was just out partying and having a good time Friday and all that other stuff. And then this.
Oh, I know.
Then this. It's just like she just released the movie Sparkle that will be airing, that will be coming out in 2007 from the group in the 1970s. The music group. She was playing the mother. Right. And if I'm not mistaken, she's also one of the executive producers on the film.
Okay. And that's with Jordan Sparks.
Right, with Jordan Sparks from American Idol. And and she was so happy. They just knew that this was going to be her debut, her break, her comeback, etc.
I know. Yeah. Too soon.
Well, at least we still have something to look forward to.
Yeah.
With that movie. And the one thing that we can say was that she gave her gift to the world. Do you know how many people wake up and they die away from here, and only people that know them was their family, and sometimes their family don't even know them. Like, I didn't know them. Like, so she was bold enough to be able to put herself out there in front of billions of people, and not just anyway. No matter what she went through, her songs were still uplifting. She's the one artist that I can remember singing, and half the time she got a smile on her face, even as she's singing. You see her pearlies as she's hitting them notes.
Exactly.
You know, like, no matter what, I mean, all uplifting, number ones, just magical. And I'm just so thankful that she, despite what has happened, she gave us the gift that she was put here on this earth to do up until this point that we know. And it pretty much seemed that she knows, you know, she gave it to us, which is the voice, and inspired millions and billions of people around this whole entire world, every race, every color. I mean, it was just it seems like an auntie that's gone. You know what I'm saying? Like, you just don't expect it. You just don't expect it. But one thing that it makes you feel and makes you think about was we have to do all we can to give what we have. Like they say, our gift, God's gift is giving us life. Our gift to him in the universe is to fulfill that life. Like Oprah says, if you don't know what your business is on this earth, if you don't know what it is, your business is to get to your business of knowing what it is that you're here to do. Because at least we can feel comfortable knowing she gave us music that we can listen to for the rest of our lives. Our kids can grow up on it, our family, our friends, married, all kind of thing. We know that she gave that to us. And like her voice was going a little bit, it was fading, you know, it was going in and out, you know. So, you know, so I'm glad she gave it all to us before all that other stuff started happening. So, Whitney, we love you, and shout out to the family. So really quick, we're going to just go over a couple of facts, and we're going to go straight into the rest of the show. So a couple of key facts that we want to talk about. Of course, we know where she was born. The singer was born August the 9th, 1963. Her zodiac sign is a Leo. She's from Jersey, so she's a Jersey girl. Just a little side note, my auntie used to work with her in the Publicist area and had some unique stories about her. So she is a Jersey girl. Let's just say that. The second thing that we have on here, you know, of course, one of her famous cousins was Dionne Warwick. You remember Dionne Warwick from with Miss, I think it was Miss Cleo from the Psychic Line. You remember Dionne? She used to be a single, but she used to introduce Miss Cleo, call me now. So Dionne Warwick, you know, definitely, yes. You know, she was a famous singer from back in the day. That's her cousin. Definitely what her favorite color was lavender. So purple, which is royal. I love lavender. I actually like the lavender scent, you know, with the air wicks. Pretty good. Not trying to, you know, you get it well. But love it. The classic album, one of her classic albums was entitled over 500 of the greatest albums of all times by Rolling Stones, which one was this? And also the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. She has one of the top albums that is still in there. I think that was from The Bodyguard. And then the I Will Always Love You is one of the best-selling singles by a female artist and one of the biggest-selling non-charity singles of all time, with the world sales of nearly 9 million copies. Wow. Which is pretty insane. Now, as a lead actress, Whitney Houston went on to, she actually has some of the most awards. Whitney went on, as far as an actress is, she went on to become the queen of pop, to lead actress in 3 highest grossing films, The Bodyguard, Wait and Exhale, and The Preacher's Wife. The Bodyguard grossed over 400 million worldwide, which is awesome. Of course, she did the thing with Bobby Brown with the reality star situation. She is in the Guinness Book of World Records. I don't know if people knew that, because she is actually one of the artists. She is the only artist with at least 1 Grammy, an Emmy, a MTV Video Music Awards, MTV Movie Awards, a People Choice Awards, a Billboard Music Awards, making her the most awarded female artist of all time. So that's pretty
big time.
That's pretty big. I mean, she didn't.
Yes.
An Oscar was coming.
Right?
And then just a little bonus fact, of course, about her is that, you know, they remade the movie from the 1976 Sparkle, and she plays the mother of the 3 girls that were in the music group. So definitely that will be coming out in August with Columbia Pictures. So that's just a couple of key facts that we threw out there from Miss Whitney Houston. So definitely go online and tune in to some more things, definitely download our music, buy our albums, send out your prayers because prayer does matter and it does change things. Send out your prayers to our family because they're going to really need it.
Yeah.
All right. So really quick, we're going to take you straight into a quick commercial plug. We are the AfterBuzz TV station here. We're definitely in the AfterBuzz studios. Definitely call us in if you have any questions at 424-256-1729. Again, 424-256-1729. And you can always hit us up right here live at AfterBuzzTV.com. That's AfterBuzzTV.com. Go to the Oprah website, and then you can, not the Oprah website, you go to Oprah website also at Oprah.com and click on everything Oprah and find, and hit everything there. But definitely for us here, go to AfterBuzz TV, hit us here live at 4:15, and then also all the recaps on Love 92.3, which is lov.923.com. Check us out there. Go down, scroll to the bottom of the page, click on the OWN Oprah Recaps, and then you have all of the archives. So whatever you're going through, find the title or the topic that fits you and go get educated, people. Definitely go get educated. So really quick, we're going to be bringing you into Miss Shereen, and we're going to be doing this show today on getting to know your host, getting to know Brookshire, because I know we jump right into this. And, I want y'all to get to know a little bit about me, as well as I'm throwing out a little bit to you on what I have learned. So Miss Shereen, we're going to take you straight in to you.
Yeah.
How's it going?
Are you guys ready to get to know Brookshire? I'm ready. Okay.
I'm a little nervous.
You should definitely be nervous. No, I'm just kidding.
Definitely a little nervous. Okay, go ahead. I'm ready.
So just to bring everybody in to really get to know who you are.
Okay.
I kind of want a little bit of the similar facts of what you busted out from Whitney. Like, where were you born? Where did you begin?
Well, I began from my mom.
Okay. He's charming.
Right. Well, everyone. Well, of course, I was born in North Carolina, so I'm a country boy.
Okay.
I love my Southern roots. I always tell people I'm a country boy. I'm a Southern boy. That means I know how to cook. And clean, and I know how to love folks. You got that, that Southern comfort.
Right.
So definitely, I'm from North Carolina. Born in a big military town. Okay. So my dad was a Marine, Master Gunnery Sergeant, 27 years in Marine Corps. So he is, he put the most people in the time that he was in. He was one of the people that put in the most people in the Marine Corps during his time frame.
Oh wow.
So he was definitely a salesman and a hustler. He's a real estate broker now. So he just went into bringing people in to selling houses. So I mean, that's how it works. So yes, definitely.
Okay. So North Carolina.
North Carolina.
Where in North Carolina?
So I'm from Jacksonville, North Carolina. So Jacksonville, North Carolina is one of the biggest military bases. So they own that town. They have Camp Geiger, Camp Lejeune, and also the air station. Okay. So it's one of the biggest military bases on the East Coast.
So then
lots of Marines.
Yeah. So that means, did you guys move around a lot, or did you not move around a lot?
Well, we didn't. My mom was from there. So she's a country girl that was from there. Okay. So my mom, big family, 10 sisters, 3 brothers, big family. We decided to stay there, and she raised us there. My dad traveled a whole lot to make sure that we were good. But being that, it was 3 boys, because I have 2 older brothers. The baby.
You're the baby.
Boy.
See, these are the juicy details I want.
I'm the baby boy. All the height came to me too. No offense, bros, but just it is what it is, and the looks too. But y'all good looking too. I mean, you get it. But yes. So baby boy. Okay. Pretty much raised by my mom for the most part, at least the first 10 years, because my daddy was in and out as far as, and my mom and dad still married, been married for 34 years.
That's awesome.
So definitely he's been a part, but my mom has definitely been one of the biggest backbones and a great friend as well. And she pretty much raised us. Okay.
So I kind of want to hear about at what point, how old were you? Like at what point in your life did you decide, okay, I'm moving to LA? And then also kind of like, what was your journey to like evolving into a place where you knew like, who you were and what would bring you out here to just bust it out. Yeah.
Well, I've always been a creative type. I have stories with my grandma that she would be laughing and talking. She said she'll hear me in the room thinking I'm doing homework, and then she'll hear 3 or 4 different voices coming out of there. And she said you'll be playing the principal, the teacher, the student, and the parent all at once. So she was like, I knew you'll be something. So she always had that in mind. Yeah. As far as in the acting aspect, and of course, for me, I've always been those kids that, in 1st and 2nd grade, I was giving orientation speeches and against like the whole school and getting up and speaking. And, we used to have the little things on the school where they used to have the school news. Yeah. And I used to be a part of, dealing and dabbling in that, not knowing where it was going to end up, but, it happening. Right. So I've always been a creative type of person.
Yeah.
I started working, my own paper route when I was 10 years old.
Nice.
And the coolest thing about that was I was able to employ. I've always been a big business thinker, entrepreneur, because I got the route and employed my friends to run the route for me and paid them out of my check at 10.
That's awesome.
So that was a pretty amazing thing. Of course, I started cooking when I was in a very young age. I started cooking, grocery shopping, and doing backhand springs, all at the age of 4 and 5 years old. So I can backhand spring down a whole football field. Round off. They used to call me the flip master back in high school. It's kind of cool.
I'm so calling you that from now on.
You need somebody to do a back tuck? I'll do it.
Get the flip master.
Right, get the flip master. Yes. So cooking and, cooking and grocery shopping. I was that kid that grocery shopping, I'll be the only one 5, 6 years old, grocery cart bigger than me. People used to walk by and be like, oh my God, that kid is getting real doggone groceries.
Yeah.
I ain't get like snacks. I was getting like steak and macaroni and cheese and collard greens. And my mom was just like, she'll pull up in front of Piggly Wiggly, and I remember it. She'll put up that bright Piggly Wiggly sign. She was like, you eat everything in the house, so whatever ain't in there, get it. She'll give me a blank check. I was the only 5-year-old I've ever known that walked into a grocery store and they let me cash my mama check.
Wow.
At 5 and 6 years old. It was pretty impressive. So I've been kind of having my hands on things for a long time. So paper route, of course, from that, lawn care services, I have my own lawn care. So I was always riding around, had about 5 or 6 yards, that I would cut every week. Just been pretty dependent. I knew how to utilize help, but I've always been one of those kind that, let me see what's going on. Like, what's happening? Like, let me know what's happening. Can you tell me? Can you fill me in? Well, of course, I went off to college.
Okay.
Graduated from high school and went off to college, North Carolina Wesleyan
Okay.
College, and went there and had a great time. Studied business administration. Always had a focus with business law because I knew that you needed to understand the business behind the business, and the law behind the business. So that was always a focus of mine, in understanding the law process of it.
Good for you. Smart.
And started a modeling troupe. When I was in school. The coolest thing was, I was one of those kids that because I could eat, I was a little chubby. Okay. And then there's for all my chubbers out there that are growing up and love your foods and your snacks, just always remember that it gets better if you see it can. You don't have to be a chubby all your life.
Right.
I was the guy that would get in the pool and I had to keep my shirt on because I was top heavy. I had what they call man boobs.
These are the fun details. I love it.
Now it's a successful chest that makes money. Okay. But
that's awesome.
15 years ago, that was a man boob. So when I would get out the pool on break time with everybody else dried and, they're chilling in the sun tanning.
Right.
I'm still cold, of course, because I got on a wet T-shirt. And, the wet T-shirt ain't going to dry with a little dab on the towel. Like, that needs, you got to hang it out for a day,
Exactly.
So I used to swim around inside of my shirt because, when you're in the water, your shirt kind of expands. So I remember... This is so funny. I remember swimming in the middle of my shirt as it expanded from the water pressure, from all the water, and saying, God, I wonder what it'd feel like to just get in the pool
without my shirt
on. And to be able to get out without my shirt on, because I could swim underwater with it out on. But as soon as it was time to come up, I would slide back into my shirt, come back out, everything sucked up against me. And interesting. So those were my chubby days. And I said to myself, I never forget in 11th grade, a cousin of mine, I have not really seen her since 11th grade, but it stood out. She said, you know what, Brooke? She said, your brothers are cute, but you have the potential to be fine. And at that time, I was a chubby. And I said, who, me? She was like, yeah, I just see something in you. She saw today. I ain't bragging, but I put in work.
Right?
I put in work. But she saw today, and I really appreciated that because that has been something that has stuck with me for the longest period of time because it hasn't been an easy phase to stay into shape because I do cook. I can throw down probably better than most people's grandparents because I've been cooking over 20 plus years, so I can throw down. I do have my own personal chef too. So I don't always have to be in the kitchen cooking today, but I still am on top of him, just like, what you doing?
Right.
How you cut that, getting more
hilarious.
skills, because of course, as you move on, I have created a cookbook and a cooking show, Survival Cooking for the Single Man, that came along in the future that I'll bring up.
Juicy.
But, got into, started getting in shape, started wrestling and getting into shape and modeling. I did pretty much most sports. I wrestled, I did football, I did a little bit of track, I did a little bit of basketball, I did a little bit of gymnastics, I even did a little bit of competition cheerleading.
Nice.
But we had like 5-6 guys on the team.
Hey,
and I would tell
good.
people this, out of all of them, wrestling and all of them, people can say what they want to say, but throwing a chick up in the air that's 130 pounds and you tossing her up in the air and catching her with one hand, meaning you're tossing her about 6.5 feet or 6'5", or however you want, 7-8 feet in the air.
Yeah.
And with one hand, and she's sitting up there doing all kind of tricks on your hand, in the palm of your hand, and then to be able to toss her out and grab her.
Yeah.
It's skills. And I don't care, it is one of the most dangerous things because you literally have a life in your hands that you have to be trained to be able to do that. So all of my cheerleaders, gymnastics people, all of my talented folks out there, I give you props because unless a person has done it, they don't know the severity and the complications in it. Now, wrestling was tough too. Now, to be competing with somebody that's your same size for 2.5 minutes, you think it's easy, but when they want it just as bad as you be ready to throw up, and I can't breathe. Like, it was definitely amazing. Definitely amazing. But after high school, went on to college. Started the unique thing was, I was slimming down. I started actually going to an HBC school, which I didn't go to an HBC school, but I started going to an HBC G school, which is a historical black college, Shaw University. I started going there for just the activity. My school had money, and not that HBC didn't and Shaw University didn't. It was just a different lifestyle. I was at a private school, more things, food was better, everything was better in that sense, and so I went over there for all of the activities. Went to a fashion show and they had an amazing, that side of town, they compete, their fashion troops compete. They have like modeling clubs and they compete against other schools. And the group was called Raw Essence. So I started modeling with Raw Essence. I went to a show and
look at you.
Everybody started looking at me and from the fashion show and the people, and I was just like, because again, I'm one of those type that I think with my heart first. Then I think with my mind, and then I realize what people are looking at. And so it's not the first thing just jumping in with my looks. I grew into this. Which is a blessing because, you're able to really see what really see what matters. So I went to them and people looking at me and my brother's like, boy, you got it. I'm just like, I got what? What? Some on my face? Like, what's going on? So I ended up sitting by the judges when the show was still going on. And the judges, after it was over with, looked at me and was like, have you ever thought about modeling before? And I was like, I have thought about modeling. Actually, I've thought about modeling with this troupe here, but, I didn't know you could do it if you didn't go to the school. He was like, well, you should go and talk to Perry. And at the time, Perry was this amazing, I would use the word flamboyant, just exciting. I'm Perry, like exciting. I never forget him, and he was just like, have you thought about doing modeling? You should come walk for us. And I'm just like, I can walk for y'all and I don't even go to your school. He was just like, yes, if you can get here. And I live about an hour away. So I was that kid that was constantly at the school for like the next 3 years, right? Like that they never knew what classes I was in, but I was always at the basketball games. I was always at the activities,
That's awesome.
And really in it, like modeling with their troops. So they thought I went there, but they couldn't put their finger on me. So that was funny. So I did that for a while, went to my college, started my own troupe at my college.
Awesome.
Visions of Beauty is still there, which is an amazing thing that you were able to leave something that made a difference. So started it there. It wasn't an easy battle, but they're there. Nothing out of life is sometimes never always easy, but as long as you stick it out, it's worth it. Left school when I got out of college. I took a form of the modeling troupe called Exotic Mosaic Modeling Productions, and I started it in my hometown while I was figuring out what was my next phase of life. Worked in the mall and would if it was you and your husband, if y'all both look good, y'all were both modeling for me.
Oh, that's hilarious.
You know, I was that guy back then that got everybody before they had like their second or third child. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So in my hometown, their bodies were still together because, and you know, from where I'm from, there's not a lot to do, but they keep bringing new restaurants. So in my hometown, we have like 20 or 30, feels like 30 restaurants. It's always a new restaurant. So people don't got nothing to do, let's go eat. And so they blow up. A lot of people blow up.
Yeah.
And it's the country, so people put extra salt and you know, they how you
got
doing?
that fried chicken.
Right, like you need something like I never forget going out, and I'm not a big drinker, but I'll never forget somebody pouring me a mixed drink, and they were holding a conversation as they were pouring my drink, and let's just say I was very out of it by the time, and I was silly enough to drink it after she held a 2-minute conversation as she poured it. But anyway, started my own modeling troupe, which was very successful. Had the opportunity to be able to go to New Jersey. My auntie, Dr. LaJoyce, she's the author of the movie Soul Food. Everybody's seen the movie Soul Food.
Gosh, that's awesome.
From back in the day. Love. She actually is the author, best-selling author of the movie Soul Food, and she's also was a major publicist for like Aretha Franklin and Kenny G and Puff Daddy. She was Biggie Smalls' publicist at his death.
Wow.
Total, Tony Braxton, Aretha Franklin, I never said that. You name it. So had the opportunity to be able to go and train up under her. Now imagine, I had to go and live on Bushkill Mountain in the Poconos. So she was the last house on the mountain.
Wow.
Once you get off of the exit, it takes about 25 minutes to get to her house once you get off of the exit. So you roll around the mountain all the way to the tippy-to-tip top. Okay? And she'd have had the last house on the right over there. And so I never forget once I got there at the time.
You're like, I'm never leaving.
Well, you would think that because when I got there, you would think the way it looked like they would never want you to leave. You sure wasn't walking nowhere. Let's just say that.
Right.
I never forget getting there, and I said to myself the next day, I said, I refuse to be held hostage on this plantation, or however you want to call it, because it was, you know, I said, I will go find me some friends. And so I didn't know where I was going, but I knew I had an address. And so I followed the crumbs back down to the main highway and found me a mall. Okay. And went to the mall, and I found me some friends to hang out with. I said, you know what, I'm new here. You're going to be my friend. And so
this is still in North Carolina, or?
Well, the modeling company, I always said, you know, it still exists, but I always said with Exotic Musique that with the, you know, I always said that I had the ability to take them to the next level and go out and get the experience to come back and make it more one day. And so that's kind of the journey that I'm still on. So I did that. Went to New York, modeled in Fashion Week in 2005 with Franklin Rowe at Gotham Hall. You know, worked in different magazines and did the New Jersey, New York thing. Right. And then New Jersey, Pennsylvania, New Jersey, New York, moved to Atlanta, almost got married, moved to Atlanta. Yeah.
We're definitely going to have to hear about that.
Yeah. Moved to Atlanta, worked a whole bunch of jobs. And let me say this. Now, for all y'all that are in New York that know about hustling, my New York experience, one year I turned in over 15 W-2s and 1099s. Wow. 15, meaning you talk about your boy was hustling. Yeah. Your boy was hustling. Now, the only part about doing that is you don't want to make sure that you move around a lot when you got that many W-2s and 1099s coming in because, you know, you got to go collect them. Right. You know, so you need your money. So you need to collect your W-2. So sometimes that can be a hassle. Yeah. But it is a testament on what hard work gets you. Wow. Yeah. So from there, Atlanta, then from Atlanta, I was there for about 7 months. I met a boss, the owner of the company, clothing company, Key Closet, Michael Hung. I met him at when I was working at the Westin in Atlanta. I was working at the Sundial, and it's their restaurant on the top floor. Met him. He reminded me of Jackie Chan, and I felt like I was kind of Chris in Rush Hour.
Awesome.
Right. And so met him, gave me a job opportunity, and been here ever since. Didn't work with him that long.
So he gave you a job opportunity out here in LA.
He gave me a job opportunity out here in LA to be able to work for him in LA as a national sales director for his clothing company. He was building a newer line called Key Closet, and he wanted a salesperson to come on and really help put the clothes inside all the different stores, really build that brand, and as far as in their staff, etc. So I came out here to.
Is that what you're currently doing?
Do that? No. I got it. Definitely did not come out here I did it for a little bit. It was just a situation to get me here.
Yeah, okay.
I love Michael Hung. Big shout outs to Key Closet.
Right.
But started waiting tables again.
Right.
Did my 16th or 17th waiting tables job. Just to let people know, done worked at Applebee's Times Square, done worked at TGI Friday Times Square. So I've been from New Jersey all the way over, 17 restaurants under my belt. So definitely understand the hospitality restaurant industry. Did that and said to myself, you know what, I'm actually sick of restaurants.
Yeah.
I just want to eat at them. I don't want to really work them anymore.
Yeah. Totally. Totally. I get
And
it.
then decided to start getting into, back into the hosting aspect. Got into a little bit of radio on another station. I was hosting a show called Real Talk with Brookshire
Nice.
on an internet-based radio station. We were hitting about 200,000 people.
That's awesome.
That was coming in. It was an amazing situation. And the content that we were putting out there was just so important, and I felt like it needed to be.
Yeah.
And we just kept moving, in that direction. And here we are with, OWN, the Oprah Recaps.
Big time.
Just a little bit, the cooking show. Like I said, started created the cooking
tell
show.
us about that.
I was one of those type of people, and I know we're getting ready to wrap it up in a second, but just really quick, I was one of the type of people that I really believe, and this is for any of you out there, when it comes time to looking for your passion, you can always tell what you don't like. And then you always hear people say, well, do what you love or your hobbies. I was just one of those ones that said, you know what, I'm going to be cooking for the rest of my life, obviously. I'm going to be talking for the rest of my life, obviously.
Right.
I loved mansions and like big houses.
Right.
So I said, why not do things that are going to fit in everything that I do and just market it and put a marketing plan. So, I created the company Mansion Entertainment Management, where basically if a person needs a mansion, a yacht, a private aircraft, they can give me a buzz or hit us up at love923.com,
Right.
and then that way we can get them a house for a party or a rental if they need a place for a month, an artist, whatever the case may be. And that was so cool to be able to walk into these $8-10 million homes. And really just be in the mix of that. So that was a cool little project. Survival Cooking for the Single Man was just my lifestyle of being able to live on a budget. I've done unemployment, I've done food stamps, I've been to those areas where I had to learn how to cook and live off of $150. And just to let people know, if you ever got to live off $150, what you do is you buy your meats first. And then you buy all your side items through the course of the month, if you know how to cook, because then that way you will be able to last. Just a little survival tip from Survival Cooking for the Single Man, and that's the name of the show, Survival Cooking for the Single Man. We also have a cookbook in the process and also a show. It was featured on the Oprah Recap, the Oprah's websites, and it's still up there that you can see an example of the excerpts of the cooking show, which is really cool. And then, of course, the radio station. I know we're getting into it. We only have a few more minutes before, but just with Love 92.3.
Yeah.
That was just inspired from, I was a personal assistant. I was a personal assistant for an editor-in-chief of about, a few editor-in-chiefs, so probably about 12 magazines. And of course I did the sales. So person said, you do everything. I did not see myself owning a magazine. So it was always one of the things like, why is this the easiest job to get?
Yeah.
But now what I do with Love 92.3 and the Mag Radio brand, which I created, is we basically build online talk radio stations for online magazines, bringing their content to life.
Interesting.
So, all of that kind of pioneered me into that, and I didn't even know.
Right.
So for all of those people out there that are interning, that are working for different people, that are personal assistant, listen, this is all a learning tool. You never know what these tools that you grab that you're going to be able to use them later down the line. Like I didn't ever think I was going to, own a magazine, but now I own a radio station and radio stations that are building radio stations for magazines, keeping them alive. Millions of dollars go into radio and that don't stay in the magazines that they can keep. That revenue helps bring more jobs, brings more, information to the audience, and just keeps their magazines alive. And so my job is to help keep the magazines and help keep the people alive. That's what I feel like I'm here for. Philanthropy, I'm partnered with almost 15 international ministries. I'm a great giver. That's what we talked about today, about the giving aspect of things. A great giver. And I'm going to put this out. One of the plans and one of my destinies on my heart is to be able to give back at least $21 billion into this world. I see myself building businesses and then eventually just becoming a philanthropist and really focusing on taking care of the world.
That's so nice.
Taking care of the world and helping people to realize their best lives now.
Right.
Not, but right now, right now. And that's really, you know, in a nutshell. And I know we can go more into it and we can be able to go into depth even more. But as we're wrapping this up, in a nutshell, that's pretty much what I'm about. I'm about giving. My mind frame is this, and to wrap it up. If I need something, like you said, in giving, if I need $5, if I need some money, and this is kind of give you the extreme. If I need some money, my goal is not to go out and go get a job. My goal is, what do I have that I can give to have that harvest come back? I think like a farmer in life in general. Farmers go out and they plant what they don't have, and that's their harvest because they plant it correctly. We create, everything we do is a seed. And so if I do that and plant any one of those seeds intentionally, no matter what it is, no matter where it is, even if it's the thoughts or things, it will create a harvest, which is what we have now. And I am truly grateful for every person that has come into my orbit to allow this to happen. I'm definitely, truly grateful for that. Definitely.
Well, thank you for sharing.
Yes.
I feel like I know so much more now.
Did I answer? I know you threw out some key questions and I was able to run on, like Oprah said. I believe I'm gonna run on.
You were good.
But is there anything else that you want to throw out there to me that I maybe didn't hit on before we wrap this show on up?
I was gonna ask you if you were gonna leave everyone with one key thing that Brookshire is all about, but I feel you answered it with the giving, and I feel like you hit it.
And one thing too is always where the mind goes, the body follows.
Right.
I mean, the one thing that a wise person said to me, and it really changed my life and my mind, was you never should invest more money into your clothes than you do into your mind, because without a healthy mind, you can't dress right, you can't take care of yourself, you can't help your family, you can't love anyone, you can't even be happy without a healthy mind. So whatever you do, people, and that's the thing that I'm learning, stay stress-free, keep yourself healthy, keep your mind healthy, and remember, faith comes by hearing. Whatever you're looking to do, whatever you're looking to achieve, whatever you want, go get some information on it. Go get some mentors on it, because it is accomplishable. It is obtainable. You can accomplish it. And I believe that with everything in my being. I believe that you have the power to change the world. You were put here to do something great. And just like Miss Whitney, you know, was here to do something great, and she did something great. Each and every single one of us has the ability. We were born. We made it out of the 1,000 of sperm seeds that was going in there. We made it to be able to do a difference, to make a difference, just like we made it to do what we're doing now, and we're doing it. And I just encourage each and every single one of you out there today to make sure that you are reaching with both hands, not like this, not with one hand behind you and one hand back, reaching with both hands for your destiny, because it is obtainable. It really, really is. Where the mind goes, the body follows. Once you get that subconscious together and you believe it, when you really believe it, and you're not only believe it, you're believing it so much that where you're setting up your lifestyle towards it. What do they say? If your tomorrow isn't as good as your today, then you haven't planned a better tomorrow. So we need to be planning and living out those dreams and really creating that mental picture of what we want. You know, make your dreams when you're dreaming, make them vivid. You know, don't just see yourself owning a beautiful car. See yourself getting into that car and actually feeling yourself on the steering wheel and pushing on the gas. Make it a reality, because that's how we make it a reality. Believe it first. Call the end to the beginning. That's what I believe. And I feel like that is probably a wrap. And we done wrapped it all up for what we know for sure and all kind of things, everybody. This has been an amazing show. And just to get you to know a little bit about me, when we come back next week, we're going to be definitely taking you into accelerating our life, hitting back on those key points. Of course, B. Winston will be back on the phone line. Of course, we have my beautiful co-host, Shereen, would definitely be in the house always, keeping us real, keeping everything real. And we are on the Oprah Recap, making sure that we're living our best life. I'm your host, Brookshire, with Shereen, and we love you so much. And again, we want to just thank you so much for tuning in, downloading. We are again on the top downloads. We love you. We love you. Remember, where the mind goes, the body follows. You are somebody, people. You are somebody. So make sure that you act like it. Act like it and walk in it.
From producers Kevin Undergaro and Phil Svitek, engineer DJ Jesse Janity, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. If you have questions or comments, be sure to buzz us at info@AfterBuzzTV.com. And you can find us on Facebook or follow us on Twitter by searching for AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later!
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.